Today we're going to be doing our vocabulary for pages 618 and 621. So get out your science notebook. Make sure that you are dividing the sections like we've been doing for the past couple of times using a pencil or a highlighter. And here we go. Our first word is sieve or mesh screen. So a sieve is something that you would use that has lots of holes in it, and you would let water and other debris go through it, and you would be able to take off the largest pieces and they would stay back on the mesh screen or the sieve, and the smaller pieces would float through the screen into the bottom. So you do this when you make spaghetti, right? So you put the spaghetti and the water in, and the spaghetti strainer, which is a sieve, takes away the water and leaves the large spaghetti behind. Another one of our vocabulary words is magnetic force. So when we have a mixture of items, and some of those items might have the property of being magnetic, we can use a magnet to take those items out of the mixture. So everything's attracted to the magnet that has iron in it. So usually steel would be an example of this. And then the things without the iron would be left behind. Filtration. So think of filtration like a coffee filter. It lets only the smallest of particles go through it. So much like a sieve, except the openings are much, much smaller. So for our example of the coffee strainer, that is leaving behind the coffee grounds, which are very small. If we put it in a regular sieve or mesh screen, those would fall through. So you would use a filtration system to get the smallest particles completely removed so that everything else can go through. Evaporation or boiling can be used when you need to separate a mixture of items that contain water. So as long as we have a liquid item, we can boil or let evaporate the liquid, and then what is left behind are the items that weren't part of that liquid. So let's just say that we had lemonade in a cup. We could let that cup sit out for several days, and the water would evaporate, and what would be left behind would be the sugar, the lemon flavor, that would still remain in the cup. You might have salt water, and you could do the same thing. You could let the salt remain in the cup and the water would evaporate. So you'd have this powdery salt mixture left.